Welcome back to Firepower. Tonight we're taking a long, honest look at a single question that should be settled before you lace your boots and step off the trail. What firearm, if any, belongs in your pack for camping and trail safety? This isn't about macho bravado or internet flexing. This is about real choices for real scenarios, wildlife encounters, human threats near trailheads, and responsible preparedness. Over the next 40 minutes, I'll walk you through 10 weapons optimized for trail and camp use in 2025, explain why each one made the list, and tell you exactly when to choose it, what to expect from it, and how to live with it safely and legally. You'll get objective specs, hands-on impressions, realistic price ranges, and practical packing and training advice. No hype, just the facts you need to make a smart, safe decision. Before we get into the guns, a short but crucial prologue. The law matters. Carry rules for public lands, state parks, and federal facilities differ wildly. National parks, many wildlife refuges, and certain trail systems restrict or ban firearms outright. Private landowners can set their own rules. Crossing state lines can change your legal status in an instant. You are responsible for knowing and following the law for every place you visit. This video will discuss tools and tactics for trail safety, but it is not legal advice. Check local statutes, park regulations, and your permit conditions before traveling. Now let's begin. We evaluated every entry here against 4 criteria: portability and carryability on trail, terminal effectiveness for realistic threats, environmental durability and low maintenance reliability, and logistics, meaning ammunition availability and weight for multi-day trips. Each selection is designed to target a typical scenario: light day hike, multi-day pack trip, vehicle access base camp, hunting trip, or remote backcountry patrol. Wherever possible, we favored versatility over niche specialization. With that frame in mind, let's count down from 10 to 1. Number 10. Rugged and simple. The Taurus Judge. This revolver is unconventional but deliberate in design. It chambers both 45 Colt and .40-10 shot shells, giving you an option between hard-hitting revolver rounds and a short-range spread from shot. The Judge's strengths are simplicity and deterrent effect. In a campsite confrontation where a close-range shot into the ground or across a short gap needs to stop an animal or an aggressive human, a .410 loaded with birdshot or a reduced recoil slug delivers immediate bite and maximum intimidation. Objectively, the Judge is heavy for a revolver, produces significant muzzle blast, and its effective range with shot is limited to very close distances. Subjectively, firing one will make you think twice before testing a campsite neighbor's intentions. That psychological edge is real. Expect street prices between $450 and $650, depending on barrel length and finish. Best use? Vehicle access campsite defense where laws permit shot shells, or as a legal compromise in areas where rifles are restricted. Note the trade-offs. High recoil with .45 Colt loads, and the Judge is not ideal for stealth or extended backpack travel. Number 9. The classic lightweight snub, the Ruger LCR, chambered in .357 Magnum. The LCR shines as a trailside quick-access handgun thanks to its glass-reinforced frame, smooth trigger, and outstanding reliability. Objectively, you get a 3-inch barrel or shorter, modest capacity, and the option to use .38 Special or .35-7 Magnum depending on recoil tolerance. On the trail, the LCR's appeal is weight and concealability. It tucks into a small holster on your pack strap, or into an accessible chest rig. Subjectively, it's not a soft shooter in .357. Recoil is stout but manageable in short strings, and accuracy at 7 to 15 yards is realistic for a defensive application. Pricing generally runs $550 to $800 street. Best use: quick access defensive handgun for day hikes where minimal pack burden is a priority and where the user prefers revolver simplicity over semi-automatic complexity. Number 8 moves us into beefier revolver territory. Mid-frame .357s such as the Taurus 686 or the Smith & Wesson 686 Plus. These are workmanlike steel revolvers with larger grips and barrel choices between 3.5 and 6 inches. Their heavy frames tame recoil and produce better sight radius and accuracy than snubs. Objectively, you sacrifice weight and bulk for better performance. 6 rounds of powerful .357 Magnum that will penetrate more deeply and retain energy behind barriers. Subjectively, the 686 family inspires confidence and gives the shooter options for full-power defensive loads or softer practice rounds. They're ideal for base camp defense, stored in a vehicle or tent safe rather than carried while hiking. Expect street prices from $700 to $1,000 depending on configuration. Best use: base camp armament or a dedicated vehicle defense gun when you expect to spend more time at a single location and want a low-tech, reliable tool that requires minimal maintenance. At number 7, we shift into shotgun territory with the Mossberg 590 Shockwave or similar short-barrel 12-gauge options where legal. There's a reason many backcountry lodges and vehicle-based campers keep a short 12-gauge within reach. Buckshot and slugs offer enormous terminal effect at close range, and a pump action is nearly impossible to render inoperable through simple malfunctions. Objectively, a compact 12-gauge delivers the most immediate stopping power at under 25 yards of anything on our list. The trade-offs are obvious: massive recoil, limited ammunition for long hikes, and legal restrictions in many jurisdictions. Subjectively, hearing a 12-gauge go off at camp will usually end a confrontation immediately. But you must understand the risks of over-penetration and noise in close quarters. Price range generally falls between $500 and $800. Best use: vehicle-based defense, base camps, or remote cabins where weight is less of a concern and you need maximum short-range stopping power. Number 6 brings us to a flexible compromise: the Henry Big Boy or similar lever-action carbine chambered in .357 Magnum. Lever rifles and straight-wall pistol calibers offer a middle ground: better velocity and sight radius than a handgun, far easier follow-up shots than a break action or single shot, and still packable on a day hike. Objective advantages include controllability, reliability, and the option to use the same ammunition for both your revolver and carbine in some setups. Subjectively, a lever action instills confidence. You can make a deliberate shot at a distance that a handgun can't reach. The downsides are length and the impracticality of carrying across technical terrain. For multi-day pack trips, it may be too cumbersome. Typical pricing ranges from $800 to $1,300. Best use: day hunts, walk-in camps where you want an accurate, reliable carbine that can stop medium-sized predators or assist in humane dispatch of large, injured game. Number 5, and this one is my practical favorite for many campers: the Ruger 1022 Takedown in .22 long rifle. If your goal is utility, procuring small game, quiet practice, and a lightweight packable firearm you won't hate carrying, the 1022 Takedown is nearly impossible to beat. Objectively, .22 LR is not a defensive round for large predators, but it shines for food procurement, training novices, and low-noise practice. It's light, breaks down into two halves to live in a pack discreetly, and .22 ammo is abundant and inexpensive. A meaningful consideration for long trips. Subjectively, you'll be amazed at how useful a 10-22 is for squirrels, rabbits, and survival tasks. Its low recoil makes it approachable for all ages. Price ranges from $350 to $600 depending on configuration and optics. Best use: hunting small game on long trips, a low-cost training platform, and an emergency tool for situations where a shot at small game can stave off hunger without alerting the entire valley. Number 4 is where most responsible hikers land: the Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS. This compact 9mm semi-automatic is arguably the best compromise between concealability, capacity, reliability, and aftermarket support. Objectively, the 19 gives you roughly 15 rounds in a standard magazine, an optics-ready slide on MOS variants, and the proven reliability that built Glock's reputation. Subjectively, the Glock 19 feels familiar to millions of shooters and trains well across a spectrum of defensive scenarios. It's small enough to carry in a pack chest holster or in a dedicated thigh-waist rig for day hikes, yet powerful enough to deter or stop a human threat or an aggressive medium-sized predator at close range. Ammunition logistics are manageable. 9mm is inexpensive, widely available, and light for its energy. Street prices typically cluster between $500 and $700. Best use: primary trail carry for hikers who want a proven, low-maintenance defensive pistol they can trust. Number 3 is for the truly remote and wildlife-heavy regions: the Glock 20 Gen 5 and 10mm auto. When you push beyond the boundaries of normal backcountry, trips into bear country, hunts for large hogs, or Arctic hunts, the extra penetration and energy of 10mm matter. Objective numbers: the 10mm offers a big step up in muzzle energy over 9mm and retains more terminal effect at distance. Subjectively, it's a handful to shoot in a compact pistol and requires serious practice. Recoil and muzzle blast are higher, but the stopping capability against large animals is markedly better. Weight and ammunition logistics are significant considerations. 10mm is heavier and less common than 9mm, and you'll carry fewer rounds for the same weight. Street prices for a Glock 20 or equivalent often sit between $600 and $900. Best use: serious backcountry where large predators are a realistic threat and nothing short of deep penetration will do. Number 2 on our list is the classic heavy hitter: the Smith & Wesson Model 629 or similar .44 Magnum revolver. This is the definitive "if it moves, it stops it" solution for wilderness travelers who expect to encounter bears or other dangerous megafauna. Objectively, the .44 Magnum delivers massive energy and deep penetration, and a heavy steel revolver is nearly impossible to render inoperative through debris or simple abuse. Subjectively, shooting a .44 is a visceral experience: loud, punishing, and unforgiving of poor technique, but it inspires a level of confidence that matters when a large animal charges. Ammunition is heavier, and the revolver's weight is substantial, so this is not a hiking carry gun, but a vehicle, or shoulder-carried wilderness protector for high-risk regions. Budget between $900 and $1,400 for a quality Model 629 or equivalent classic revolver. Best use: remote regions with significant dangerous game risk where the extra stopping power justifies the weight and recoil. And now, the number 1 pick for the majority of campers: the Ruger 10-22 Takedown. Yes, this one repeats, and for good reason. It's the most pragmatic tool for general-purpose outdoor use. We already discussed its utility for small game harvesting, training, and low-noise signaling. To emphasize, for most weekend hikers, families, and small group campers, a lightweight .22 Takedown offers the best balance of packability, ammunition logistics, legal flexibility, and real utility. It won't stop a charging bear. It will, however, keep your food supply secure, allow you to hunt birds and rabbits for a meal, and provide a quiet, reliable platform to practice marksmanship on the move. Price and parts are abundant, making it easy to maintain in the field. Now that you know the 10 picks and the logic behind each one, let's move to the practical layers that make an effective trail kit. Because the firearm is only part of the system. Your overall setup should include 4 core elements: a quality holster or secured transit bag, an accessible but safe carry method, a compact cleaning kit, and redundancy for ammunition. For handguns, I favor a chest or shoulder mount for day hikes. It keeps the pistol accessible, prevents snags, and places the muzzle control in a predictable vector when you move through brush. For rifles and carbines, a takedown system or a secure sling with a padded case is ideal to minimize snagging and discomfort. Keep all firearms unloaded while hiking through public areas or where local law requires it, and only chamber rounds when you reach a safe, legal place to do so. Field maintenance is simple, but non-negotiable. A tiny kit with a bore snake, a cleaning rod short enough for your rifle or carbine sections, a microfiber cloth, a small bottle of lubricant in a leak-proof container, and a couple of spare magazine followers or speed loaders for revolvers will keep a firearm functioning even in wet, cold, or dusty environments. Test these kits at home and simulate the motions you'll use in the field. Know how to strip and reassemble your firearm one-handed if you must. Train until the actions are smooth and procedural under minor stress. Training is the multiplier that turns a tool into a survival implement. Every gun on this list requires specific competence. For revolvers, practice rapid reloads with speed loaders or moon clips and draw transitions from the holster you plan to use. For semi-automatics, train malfunction clearance drills, reloads, and reload transitions under time pressure. For rifles, practice shots from standing, kneeling, and improvised rests. If you're in bear country and considering heavy calibers like 10mm or 44 Magnum, invest in live fire drills that condition the body to manage recoil, because fine motor skills degrade under surprise and adrenal load. A few words about ammunition and over-penetration. In forests and camps with other people nearby, minimize the risk of stray rounds by choosing appropriate point of aim and understanding your round's penetration profiles. Shot placement matters. Aim for center mass of a charging animal's vital area if you are forced to shoot. Avoid placing non-targets like your vehicle or other campers downrange. Use ammunition designed for deep penetration against dangerous game threats, heavy, hard-cast rounds, and use expanding defensive loads against human threats where permitted. Finally, keep your ammo dry and organized. Waterproof ammo cans, resealable dry bags, and desiccant packs are basic, cheap, and effective. Legal compliance. Again, national parks commonly prohibit firearms. Many state parks vary widely. Private land often requires owner permission even if your permit suggests otherwise. If you are traveling through multiple states, research reciprocity and local carry restrictions and carry your documentation in multiple forms so you can show it if stopped. If you expect to be in remote areas where law enforcement response times are measured in hours, reevaluate your risk tolerance and ensure your emergency communications and extraction plans are robust before relying on a firearm as a primary solution. Let's also talk about non-lethal options, because they deserve honest treatment. Bear spray is demonstrably effective against bear encounters in many situations and is lighter, cheaper, and often more accessible than a firearm. For human threats, high-quality, easily accessible pepper spray can stop an assailant at close range without the legal and ethical consequences of lethal force. In many jurisdictions, non-lethal tools are legally simpler and can be effective if you train with them and integrate them into your carry plan. Finally, a short checklist for the prospective buyer. 1. Define your mission. Are you primarily hunting small game, deterring predators, or preparing for human threat contingencies? Choose your tool accordingly. 2. Minimize weight without compromising effectiveness. Multi-day pack trips demand compromises. 3. Train. The best gun in the world is only effective in the hands of a practiced operator. 4. Practice safe storage. Locked safes in vehicles and secure storage in camps prevent theft and accidents. 5. Know the law. Local statutes, park rules, and federal restrictions can change your legal obligations instantly. 6. Maintain redundancy. At least one spare magazine or speed loader, a small cleaning kit, and a communications plan are essential. 7. Practice ethically. Use lethal force only as a last resort and within legal and moral boundaries. If you're wondering what I personally carry on the majority of trips, the answer is pragmatic. A Ruger 1022, Takedown for food procurement and training, and a Glock 19 MOS in the vehicle for camp defense. For high-risk bear country, I add a heavy revolver like a .44 Magnum stored in a lockbox for quick access near camp, but not carried on the trail unless the risk profile requires it. That setup balances utility, weight, and legal prudence. We'll close with a final word on responsibility. Carrying a firearm into the outdoors is a commitment to lifelong learning, responsible storage, and moral accountability. It is a choice that affects other people, wildlife, and public perceptions of outdoor recreation. If you choose to carry, do it with humility, competence, and constant emphasis on safety. This is firepower, where we cut through the noise and give you practical, tested advice that keeps you safe and lawful in the field. If this overview helped you, subscribe for in-depth follow-ups, full tear-down videos on each model, live fire comparisons for calibers, and regional legal breakdowns for campers. Tell us in the comments what environment you hike in most: desert, alpine, temperate forest, or coastal. And we'll tailor a follow-up that maps the best kit for your terrain. Stay legal, stay prepared, and stay safe on the trail.